Shall we dance, Tom? Welcome, everybody, to the Content Profit Show. This is Jeff Herring, your host, and you've already experienced one of the things we do differently here. Most folks have this real upbeat music that makes you want to run through a wall. Nah, I'm going to take it chill here so you can relax and take all this stuff in. The other thing we do differently here is this is a hybrid model where this is a live cast, obviously. We'll pull the audio from it for y'all that are listening on the podcast. Now, coming up next week, there is a holiday here in the States, so we won't be doing our regular Monday. We will have Cindy Bidar in of Six Figure Systems to talk about how she converts content into cash on Thursday. And because some people are asking me, I'm going to do a special one on Tuesday at 4, all about how content creators become content profiters. Now, I am so glad to have Tom Antion here today. He is my first and ongoing online mentor and a buddy, and he's waving at you. And he's the only person I've ever learned from online that everything he suggested and I did worked. Okay. And so I think that's pretty high praise. So modeling a way you start these things, Tom. So Tom, are you ready to convert?
I'm ready to screw. Wait, the community.
Well, that's yours. This is mine.
Yeah, I
okay.
know. I'm ready to convert.
That's right. Convert our content into cash. So welcome, buddy.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Linda, what's going on over there? Wherever you are. Where are you anyway? Linda, tell us where you're at.
I forget where she is.
Well, she should know, right?
I hope she knows.
She might be having Toronto.
Oh, we've gone international here.
Yeah,
Okay.
see, I'm not welcome in Canada anymore, Linda. When I first started speaking, I'm all, oh man, I'm an international speaker now. I'm going to speak up in Ottawa. And and I get to the border and they say, what are you doing up here? I said, oh, I'm speaking. And I'm all proud of myself. And they said, you getting paid for it? I said, oh, yes, I am. They said, is that right? Come on over here. They put me in solitary for like 6 hours. I missed my, at the time you had to have a work permit. And so I had to bribe my way out of the airport, miss my limo, had to get a car to go up to Ottawa to speak. And I got up there and the meeting planner was all drunk. And I told her what happened. She said, oh, you just should have lied to him. I'm thinking, that's right. I'd still be in jail.
Dude, I've known you for 17 years, and that's the first time I heard that.
Yeah.
Story.
And anytime I go back to Canada, it's come here a minute. Yeah. Even though, you don't need a work permit now. Hey, wow. Wendy, what's going on? Hey, hideous health habits. That's a good one. Virginia home. I can't see homeboy or homegirl. I can't see it.
Lynchburg, not too far from you.
Yeah, Lynchburg. We have all kinds of interesting names here in Virginia. Like we have Witch Duck Road, which is from Witch Dunk Road. Okay. Way back when if they dunked you in and you died, you were innocent. If they dunked you in and you came out, then you were a witch and they burned you at the stake. It just wasn't a big
food either way.
A lot of good chances there to come out good.
You know how to tell if an ant is a boy or a girl?
No.
You put it in a glass of water, and if it sinks, it's a girl, and if it floats, it's boy ant.
It's boy ant.
Now, see, we got some crazy names here in Georgia. Okay, yeah. I live in a city called Cumming. C-U-M-M-I-N-G. I'm not making this up. We also have Climax, Georgia, and Intercourse, Georgia.
Well, we have Intercourse, Pennsylvania. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay. I know that word's getting around. Yeah. So what are we doing here? I guess y'all are wondering why I called you here today, right?
That's right. That's right. So this is all about Content Profit Show is all about turning content into cash, because I get so tired of all these content creators out there that put out good stuff, but they're not making any money. Okay.
Yeah, it's good to put out, that's for sure, but you gotta turn it into money, right?
That's for sure. So Tom, how do you turn your content into cash?
All right. So what I did is for the show here, I jotted down a whole bunch of things that I have done over the years, and some I haven't, but I have coached people, and people I know actually have made money with these ideas. So what I thought I'd do is read off the list, and folks out there, anything you want me to expand on, or Jeff, if you say, oh, let's talk about this method, we won't ever be able to get to all of them because there's loads of them that I've done over the years. So here we go, folks. Get your pencils sharp and ready to go. All right. Live seminars, coaching and mentor programs, membership sites, actual licensed school, e-courses, video courses, e-books, both PDF and Kindle, transcripts, preloaded thumb drives.
I remember those.
Webinars. DVDs are still viable for very specific things. Printed books, special reports, spokesperson work, CEU classes, teaching them, co-authorship, TV shows, documentaries, combo products, translations, and copywriting. There we go.
Wow, I love those. Now,
almost all of those I made money.
Yeah, I love all of those.
All right.
And
we'll be here for 3-4 days then, right?
There you go. Yeah. Let's drill down on memberships, because that's one of the things we teach in Content Profit Explosion. And people, what I've noticed is people make those way too hard. Yeah,
it's there's lots of ways to do memberships. I'm starting a new one myself, and I've known about it for a long time, but you just can't get to everything. But I'm starting a new Patreon based on my podcast, and all the money is going to go towards my scholarship program for persons with disabilities. But it's basically a membership to support my podcast and building a community of people. And once you get a community going in a membership site, people never quit, because they make friends and they get seniority for made so many comments in your discussion board and all that stuff. So what you have to worry about in membership sites is a thing called churn, CHURN. Because when you first start a membership site, you don't really know how long a person is going to last in it. And so you need to watch that and carefully see, okay, my average member is staying 7 months and paying so much per month. And then you try to improve that and do things to make them stick longer, because it's a beautiful recurring income model. I call it like an insurance policy for you. I mean, I think you're aware I got hurt in a hunting accident a couple years ago. And it would have been such a great story, folks, had I gotten shot. But no, I fell on a log and perforated my intestines, intensive care for 2 weeks, 6 months, couldn't lift 5 pounds. Money kept pouring in from my memberships.
Didn't one hospital, they were going to send you home?
Yes, they were going to send me home. Yeah. I was bleeding out inside, and some traveling idiot doctor, which is the title of my next project, is Highly Educated Idiots. That's the title of my next book. So yeah, you're going to send me home. He said, God, just go sleep it off and take some aspirin. You just got a strain. But I was bleeding out inside. So these are entities that you build. We actually call them VRE, virtual real estate. You don't have to go kiss butt on a banker to start world-class websites. We can teach you how to do that for $150, not $4,000, $5,000, or $10,000, $150. And then you have another piece of virtual real estate that can be bringing money in while life gets in the way. So it's kind of an insurance policy, but membership sites are great for recurring income.
What's the most difficult or complicated one you've ever created?
Well, when years ago, my coaching mentor program, I don't really like the term coaching, but my mentor program was using an El Cheapo membership site, because in the early days, there wasn't any great membership sites. And then all of a sudden it pooped out, and I had all these members that paid me a lot of money depending on me. So I had to jump into a thing called MemberGate. It was the gold standard. It was $4,000 for the site, which is just irks me because I'm frugal. I grew up very frugal, and $4,000. It's high quality and it does the job. But nowadays I can do the same functionality for a couple $100, so I still have those sites because there's 19 years worth of content on them. There's pain in the neck to move, and I already own them. So it's nothing more than hosting now. But that was the most complicated thing. It has to have special servers to host it and all that stuff. But nowadays, all that's out the window. You can do membership sites very inexpensively.
What's the simplest one you've ever created?
The simplest one is probably Copywriting 901 or Brutal Self-Defense. They're all the same in complexity. It's just what they're about. So Copywriting 901 is a WordPress website with a plugin called Wishlist Member, another little automation plugin so that it generates a user ID and password for the person, and it's connected to the shopping cart, Kickstart cart, and all it is a membership and of that type is just locking off certain pages until somebody pays, and then it unlocks them. That's all a membership site is, basically.
Right.
So it's very simple nowadays to put it together.
I've seen some people even doing it where it's just a membership site based on email, and that's all you get is email with the links.
That's interesting. Now, I don't like the idea that much because, you can do all kinds of stuff, but remember I said about churn? Well, the thing is the people have different learning styles, and if they like video and they like visuals, well, you're not going to keep them very long with just a plain email site. So we always tell people to do a multimedia membership site, and it's not that hard because let's say you started with a video. Well, you can take the audio off the video and put it there as a download. You can have it transcribed for almost nothing nowadays. It used to cost me $60 for an hour's translation. Now it's $5 for an hour, and I can have it transcribed. And now I got the written part. So I got audio, video, and written out of the same piece of content. So that's the way we do it now.
That makes it easy. And I've seen them priced all kinds of ways. Somebody I mentioned to you the other day, a student of one of y'all's students, Liz Wilcox from Roberto and Warren, she runs a $9 membership site. Okay? And does some pretty cool stuff with it, but she's got 1,500 people in it.
Yeah, there's I don't remember the name of it, and I found it a while back, but there's an embroidery membership site. They had 20,000 members at $9.95, or basically $10 a piece, $200,000 a month for freaking embroidery. Yeah. And all they gave them was one pattern per month. But what happened is when you build that big of a community, they're never going to quit. And they actually started making live meetups as part of the community in Denny's and stuff. So all these little old ladies were meeting and discussing stuff. So they're never going to quit. They make friends there. And so that's a lot of money, $200,000 a month.
I love that. Talk a little bit more about the importance of community for cash from content.
Well, the thing is I don't really look very impressive on social media. I've been in this since the beginning, 28.5 years, made millions and millions of dollars. But if you see me on social media, some nobody has got 1 million views on something. Well, they would be glad to trade bank accounts with me probably. So the social media is what I call a necessary evil to get them the heck off of there onto an email list. Everybody at my level, I don't care what they're doing, they make the bulk of the money from email. It's got the highest conversion. And the thing is, you own the list. Anything on any of the social media, they can turn one dial and you disappear off the face of the earth, or they can ban you if you say one thing that they don't like. And so the whole idea is to get them the heck off of social media onto an email list And then you now have a community that's under your control. So you can email them with offer after offer after offer, and do all kinds of things. You can get them to show up for live events. You can get them to do reviews for you. You can get them to give you testimonials. I mean, so it's enormous. I think Jeff left, and he must have had to blow his nose or something. I don't know where he went.
I just wanted to put the focus on you, pal.
I felt lonely there for a second. Oh, my God, Linda's here. So listen, this cracks me up. The hideous health habits person.
That's Marlene. Don't you love that name?
I love that
website. Hideous health.
Yeah,
habits.
It's got that alliteration, and it's very catchy.
That's right.
And Wendy Weber is here, and who else we got here? Yeah. So yeah, the community. Once you get them under your control. I mean, that sounds, callous, but I mean, that's basically what you're doing. You're getting a bunch of people,
right?
And you're the centerpiece of it, and you make them offer after offer after offer for the money. But you can't just do that over and over and over and not help them with stuff, because then they'll get sick of you and they'll feel like all you do is push for money. So you have to help them, give them good tips. Like my podcast is 650 some episodes nowadays. There's millions of dollars worth of training on there, just with a couple hundred episodes where I did training, not even the ones that I interview people like you've been on there, 2 or 3 times,
Three times. I think I was number 5, number 100 and something, and then number 637.
Yeah,
just recently, which was the morning I was thinking about you while I was in the shower getting ready.
Yeah, I heard about that. So that's all free. And yeah, I tell them about my mentor program on there, and now I'm going to do the Patreon thing to help the persons with disabilities with the scholarship fund, and I raise money for this, that, and the other, and I make money myself. So nobody gets mad because it doesn't cost them anything. They can listen and grab all that stuff and not spend a penny. So you have to service your community, but a lot of your community wants more of you. And if you structure yourself properly and make proper offers and recurring income things that they can join, a percentage of people will do it.
I love it. I love it. So in the time we have left, let's go to the other end of the spectrum.
What do you mean? I'm not even warmed up yet. What are you talking about?
You're rolling. How many ebooks do you have?
I have 25 books. A few of them are printed and ebooks. Okay. And some are translated into Korean and other languages and stuff. But and I'm working on one right now. This is the interesting thing. I'm doing the Patreon thing, digging in, learning all the advanced tips, taking courses on it. So I'm going to write an ebook on it while I'm at it and sell it to my my community. So it's very easy. I have one ebook I wrote in 4 hours that's brought in, as of this morning, $3.89 million.
That's the one you wrote at the airport?
Yeah, I wrote at the airport at a layover.
Yeah.
Because people don't really want the war and pieces anymore. They want small, immediately actionable, and digital. You don't have any risk involved in it. It's 97% profit. So you can crank those out like crazy, and get some cash flow going. And then each book leads to other stuff.
And if I remember right, you've got some unusual ones out there. The eulogy ebook and the wedding toast ebook, right?
Yeah. So I have Instant Eulogy, which that brought in $42,000 a year for 9 years straight. The wedding toast and wedding speech books brought in $72,000 a year for 9 years straight. And it's the bad part about that, Jeff. And I love the money, all that money coming in for all those years. But the bad part about it was that those customers are worthless. There's no community there. They had a need, and it was urgent. So you can get stuff sold right away, but you can't sell them anything else. Just because somebody had a eulogy need, they don't care about internet marketing. They don't care about entrepreneurship. They don't care about public speaking.
One-shot deal.
It's one-shot deal. So if you're developing things now, I want you to think like a chess player. How many moves ahead? What else can you sell that person? Just like my tennis stuff. I have that Fatso tennis site, and tennis nuts will buy anything. So So that's the way you have to think nowadays, even though that worked in beautifully, but I wouldn't suggest that anymore.
So here's a good question from Linda. What are you charging for ebooks to get those kind of returns?
This will sound like BS, but the one that made the most money was free. And you say, well, how could that be? What's going on there? Well, the idea is that you teach somebody with an ebook how to do something, as Linda, right?
Yes.
And they can't do it unless they buy the tool or lease the tool or rent the tool that is necessary to do what's in the book. So one of the things you may have heard of is an affiliate program where I recommend something or you recommend something and you get a commission if somebody buys it. Well, the next level of that is called a residual affiliate program. That means I recommend it once, and then as long as the people keep paying monthly or yearly, I keep getting paid. So that's what that was all about. So I've had some people using the service for 18, 19 years, and I keep getting paid. I promoted it once, and boom, I keep getting paid forever. So you want to watch for those kinds of programs.
I'm an affiliate of that service, and there is one person that's been with me like 15 years. Every month it just rolls in.
Yeah. And I hope it keeps going. I've always been worried about big companies buying other ones out. So that might come to an end, but then somebody else will take over. It's the way it is.
Either way, it's been a good run.
Yeah.
Tom, what would you say to the folks that are watching or listening who, they're either getting started out or they've been working on a product for a year and they're just, they're scared. And they're stuck. Okay. They're making it too hard. What do you say to folks like that?
Don't do crack. No, I heard Larry the Cable Guy said, that's good advice, no matter what the question was.
Like Mike Stewart, plant your corn early. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is get into digital products right away, because you can mess up terribly. And at 97% profit, you can still make money. So you don't have to be as worried, and it costs pretty much nothing to develop. You can take Microsoft Word on a PC or a Mac or Pages on a Mac, convert it to PDF, and have a $17. Somebody's asking about the pricing, right? So most everything ends in a 7, whether that's a wives' tale or not. That's the way it works online. You end it in a 7. But most of mine are 17, 27, 37, 97. I actually had a $97 ebook that sold thousands of copies over 10 years in 4 editions. But the thing is you must test it. And the beauty of that is on an ebook, you don't have to print a price on the cover like you do on a printed book. So you can test the pricing, and you always test from low to high, because if somebody buys it at $17 and then they see it at $27, they're all happy. They got a deal, right? But the other way, not so much. They bought it at 27 and the next week you come out at 17. They're mad. They're like calling you up, wanting a refund, and they're all upset. So you test low to high, and you do what we call a split test. So there's easy technology like with the shopping cart where they click a link and the first person goes to sales letter A that's $17, and the second person that clicks goes to B that's $27. And the third person goes back to A, and it alternates them, and it remembers them so that they don't see both sales letters. One person doesn't see both. And then it tracks them all the way through to see which one made you the most money. And you're not always shooting for the most money. You might be shooting for the most purchases so that you can sell those people stuff on the back end that's way bigger than the price of the book. So you have to decide your goals of what you want to do with this. If all you have is the book, get the profit. But if you have stuff like I have on the back end, then I want more people involved, and that's why I'm in KDP Select, which is the Amazon program where they'll give your book away for 5 days out of every 90 if you agree to not sell it digitally anywhere else for 90 days. Well, they gave away 2,500 copies of that book I just told you about. And so I started getting $600 a year from everybody that bought the service, right, for on into perpetuity. So So you have to decide your goals, use the proper tools that Jeff can advise you on, and think this out and test things to see which method, which price gets you to your goal.
That makes sense. Now, you mentioned email and the
Mm-hmm.
importance of that earlier, and I love how all the years I've been online, people keep saying two things are dead: content's dead and email's dead. And I hope some people believe that, so we can keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Back to email. I'm taking a course from Tom right now. Tom mentioned taking courses. I'm taking one from Tom right now, all about email. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys may be thinking, well, Jeff, you send a lot of email. Don't you know all about this? No. And I just want to keep getting better and better. There's things that I've been reminded of in the course, Tom, and then things that I've gone, well, oops, I forgot about doing that. And then there's been new things like the book that came with the course, the 50 emails book. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, my background's in psychology. And as you break down each thing you were doing, the psychological triggers that I didn't even catch.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. You don't have to be obnoxious. You can be subtle and get people to do what you want. Like I've never been beaten in back of the room sales speaking in the last 20 years. Never less than 100,000 at the back of the room, sometimes $250,000 in 90 minutes. And not one person would say I was hard sell or obnoxious or anything. In fact, they're laughing while they're giving their credit cards out. So you do not have to be obnoxious, but you do need to learn copywriting techniques and the psychological triggers that make people want to buy your stuff. And if you really believe in it, you are negligent if you don't push them gently into buying your stuff, because they're going to go out there and get robbed by somebody else.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So folks, I paid $600 to get this book as part of a course. Okay. We got a whole lot better deal for you here. The link is on the screen for those of you listening. It's the contentprofitshow.com/50 emails. Okay.
And you spelled emails wrong.
I spelled that wrong.
Emails.
So tell us, Tom. Well, I fixed that. Tell us a little bit about the psychological triggers and or how the book is built.
Yeah, well, basically, I show you 50 of the. I've sent out hundreds of millions of emails. That's broadcast emails, not hundreds of millions of individual ones. And so I showed the email that made money, and then I showed the line by line what the purpose of each thing in the email was. And so, and those are psychological triggers. And for instance, the most important thing on earth is your subject line. However, nobody will even see the subject line if they don't recognize who sent it. That's the number one thing that gets your email deleted instantly. They don't recognize. So be very consistent on who it's coming from. Then the next thing that's most important, you could have the best product in the world, the best sales copy, everything, but best product. But if they don't open the email, it's over. It's done. There's nothing past that. So subject line should be 50 characters or less, including spaces. The most important stuff should be to the left, unless you happen to be Arab. And I doubt if we have anybody on there from Saudi Arabia that writes the other direction. Most important stuff to the left, in case they have a very small area for their subject line, it'll get truncated. It's called a cut off. So you want to keep the important stuff to the left, 50 characters to the left, including spaces. And then just one of the techniques that's one of the most powerful on earth is called the Zygarnik principle. Bluma Zygarnik was a Russian psychologist, psychiatrist who discovered the principle of the human mind, that the human mind cannot stand unfulfilled curiosity. So a subject line with the Zygarnik principle, one of the biggest ones ever I did joke, Jeff, was, boy, did I get in trouble, ... Now, people that have been on my list are saying, okay, what did Tom do now? But they can't find out unless they what? Open the email, right? And then I used it in the body of the email to increase what is called CTR, or click-through rate, to get them to go to my website. So I said, Yeah, it was Valentine's Day, and boy, do I hate sleeping on the couch because I made the biggest mistake you could make buying a Valentine's Day gift. Oh boy, click here to see what I did. So, like double whammy curiosity, like what did he do so stupid? He's sleeping on the couch, and it ended up I'm quite a jokester. So I had bought my girlfriend this enormous construction grade dustpan. It's like this big, and gave it to her for Valentine's Day so she could clean.
You should have consulted me first.
Yeah, I know, clean better.
Although I did a similar thing. I once bought my girlfriend. Now, in my own defense, okay, I thought we'll spend more time together and it'll be healthy. I bought her a membership to the gym.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And once you sent that message, so folks, that ebook is available for you. The contentprofitshow.com/5050 emails, spelled correctly now. For those of you listening or watching on the website, it's right over there to your right, and you can even see the cover of it. I will help you with it. I will help you create some of those emails out of there. The cool thing is you can just copy and paste that stuff.
You just put your info in where the other stuff is. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Well, Tom, any final words about turning content into cash for these folks?
Yeah. I mean, you got to take your knowledge and get it in a saleable format in as many ways as you can. So many people want to just keep creating new stuff all the time in one format, and they're losing all this money from the same information they just created in all these other formats because, everybody on here likes certain things. They like to either watch, listen, write, read, workbooks. I mean, so you have all of these ways. So instead of forcing yourself to create new stuff, take what you got and put it in different formats, and you'll see immediate increase in sales. So, and stick with digital as best you can because you've got tons of profit to deal with. So you can do affiliate programs and still make money, give half of the profits to somebody else and still make money. But if you're trying to sell physical stuff and arts and crafts and you get this much margin, it's very difficult. You have to be really, really sharp to do it.
I remember listening to this, how long ago this is. It was a teleseminar, okay? And you were talking about like 19 or 21 different ways to repurpose an article, okay? And I asked you, I said, all right, what if you used, if not all, at least most of these or even some of these ways for every article? And I'll always remember what you said because you said you'd get real well known real fast. So I did. And I did.
And I did. And a lot of different factions. You'd have missed a whole bunch of people if you just only put it out in the easiest format for you. You have to think about other people. They're going to tell you what they like and what they don't like, and you provide it for them.
I love it. Tom, thanks for being our guest. And we'll probably have you back like you've had me back.
Yeah. You're kicking off some big thing, right?
The content profit show. Yeah.
There we go.
So I couldn't think of a better guest to start with. Folks, go to the contentprofitshow.com/50 emails. Get Tom's ebook on that and get ready for next week. On Tuesday, we're going to do how content creators become content profiters. And then on Thursday, we have Cindy Bidar of 6-Figure Systems coming in to talk with us like Tom did about how to turn your content into cash. Tom, thank you, sir. Have a good one.
All right.
You know Greg Caesar, right? No, he's a friend of Mike's of mine. Mike and I used to do this thing called the Audio Guy, Article Guy Cafe, and this was the music we used.
Hey, is Mike okay? Because one of my students had bought something from him and was having some trouble, and he never got back to her.
I'll pass that on, but yeah, he's fine. He's up in Nashville.
Okay.
Doing a lot of music.
I thought he was doing a band stuff, traveling.
Yeah, he's in the box tops, doing all that stuff. But I'll get with him.
Yeah, but she got it taken care of. But I just want to make sure he's okay.
Okay, good. Thank you, sir. Catch you next time. See you, folks.